Welcome, one and all, to part 2 of Maximum Freedom with Mike. I am your host, the one, the only, Mike. Hope everybody is having a great Friday so far. I know I am. It's going quite well. Got a lot of stuff to do today, putting together my exercise machine. That's going to be a blast. It looks very, very complicated, and it is. And it come in like a billion pieces. So, woo! Fun times! Alright guys, this is part 2 of episode 2. Hope you guys enjoyed part 1. My little spiel, once again, driving home the point about personal responsibility being the foundation of liberty and freedom. Now, we're going to kind of move into talking about some weird stuff going on in the news today. Quite a bit of stuff to discuss and talk about. There are many great sources out there to get news from. I just want to plug the two that I get most of my news from, and that is theblaze.com. That's Glenn Beck's media empire. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's part of his whole network over there. They usually have pretty good news stuff. I don't really get a lot of my news stuff from Fox News anymore, just because, I don't know, it's just not as reliable. And also Breitbart News. I usually go to the big government section. Another great resource. I mean, there's tons more good ones, but those are the two primary ones that I use. So the first thing I want to talk about is we'll start out with something a little weird, a little funny even. I got this story off the Blaze this morning and just thought this was weird. Nudist pastor reveals how his church worships Jesus in one of the most uncommon ways imaginable. Okay, look, I'm a Christian and this is beyond creepy. Not only is this sinful, this is creepy. What's even worse is I'm looking at a picture of the guy. This dude is rather rotund, okay? And he's shirtless. Man boobs flapping in the wind. It's really frightening. Story says, forget dressing up in their Sunday best. Most of the parishioners at Whitetail Chapel show up in their birthday suits. Yeah. The small Southampton, Virginia church caters to avid nudists who worship and read scripture each week in the buff. I'm interested to see where this is going. I mean, where in the world does he get the justification from this in the Bible? Anyway, the uncommon environment at Whitetail isn't actually new, Reverend Alan Parker told The Blaze. The church has been around since the 1980s. Parker has been leading services there since 2006, has no official seminary training, though he says he has years of experience leading Bible studies in small groups. Okay. Look, I am not an advocate that says that in order to serve God, you have to have a seminary degree, because I function in somewhat of a leadership role in my church, and I have no seminary degree. And I have helped lead and teach a lot of small groups, and I can tell you, never once have I thought about doing it naked. For one, I would scare the absolute crap out of everyone. Nobody wants to see this bod in all its glory. It's just, no. But the other is, I have no idea where in the Bible you would get that this is okay. Joining in on the extra layer of freedom the House of Worship offers, he preaches naked from the pulpit every Sunday, delivering life lessons and teachings deeply rooted in the Christian tradition. So this dude gets up there with his wang-a-dang just swinging in the wind and decides to preach the Bible. I think he has missed a few texts. The idea of a church service rose out of the belief that Christians need to meet together in love and share the celebration of worship together like most churches start, Parker said. Okay. The difference, of course, is that most churches would never allow nudity as Whitetail does. As far as the congregation's theology goes, Parker said that the church, which meets on land owned by Whitetail Resort, a nudist destination, is made up of people from a variety of backgrounds, but that his preaching is rooted in the Bible's teachings. I highly doubt it. Our firm belief is in God, the creator of all, and the Heavenly Father and protector to all of us. We believe he sent his Son for our sake as the only true acceptable sacrifice. He is our salvation and our mentor. You missed some things in there, buddy. I'm telling you. Okay, and it just goes on and on. Oh, goodness sakes. There's a video. There's a video. Ew. Oh. Put some pants on, bro. No. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Anybody who lives in Virginia, stay away from Whitetail Resort. Stay away from Whitetail Church, whatever this church is called again. Whitetail something. Don't go there. Don't go there. These people are crazy. Ew, gosh. And you know what? I bet all the congregation are old people, too. That's so nasty. Old, wrinkly boobs hanging out. And, oh, dudes with their shriveled wangadangs. That's just disgusting, man. Yuck. Blech. Blech. Ugh. Blech. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm done. Shifting gears here. I also read another interesting story yesterday on The Blaze, and it's what the left wants for Valentine's Day. This story really pissed me off a lot. This got under my skin. I'm a lot like Ron Paul. I believe a lot of what he believes, so I am very, very pro-life. And this disgusted me. Okay? Cecile Richards, I think it's Cecily, I don't know, whatever her name is, Cecile Richards. She is the head of Planned Parenthood. She went on the internet and posted a picture of herself holding a sign. And the sign said, hashtag what women need. And it's what women need for Valentine's Day. And in the little heart, she put abortion and birth control pills. So what she thinks women need for Valentine's Day is to murder their unborn children. Huh. Man, all I got my wife was a card and some flowers. Not even roses, dude. I went cheap. I got the $5 kind from Kroger. Holy crap. If I would have known that, she just needed some birth control and an abortion, holy cow. Man, I was way off. I thought chicks liked candy and flowers and a night out on the town at their favorite restaurant. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, no. They want birth control and the freedom to slaughter their babies. That's incredibly disgusting and sickening. Sickening. She's a feminazi, okay? I'm all for treating women equally as men, and I believe women who are in the workforce should be getting paid the same as men and all of that junk. But there comes a line to feminism, and that would be it right there. That's just totally disgusting to be such a supporter of murder like that. And I don't care what you believe. I mean, it's pretty much proven that life begins at conception. That is a living thing, a living being that has its own life that started, that does not belong to the mother. That's just sickening, man. What kind of country is this? What kind of country have we become where, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness no longer applies to an unborn child? When does that child then technically become a human being? I mean, you have people out there who aren't just advocates for abortion, while the baby's tiny. We're talking there are some people who actually think it's okay to kill the kid after it's been born, up to 2 years of age. That's sick and disgusting. People like Cecile Richards are the kind of people who are responsible for the moral decay in America. Look, you don't have to be Christian to agree that we shouldn't murder each other. Okay? That's pretty much a worldwide established good thing. That's a good rule. So nobody should be supporting Planned Parenthood or that crazy witch. That's right. I called her a crazy witch. Because she is. She's disgusting. She's vile. I was very pleased to see that there's been some negative responses to what she had posted up on Twitter, and saw that some women had taken it upon themselves to post pictures saying hashtag what women need, Planned Parenthood to encourage encourage adoption, not abortion. Love that. That is awesome. And there was another one said, nuns to have religious freedom. We love you, little sisters of the poor. That's just funny. So yeah, that was just really disgusting. You know, that is, look, we don't have to force everyone to be Christians, but we do have to have our government and our officials in the government live out some type of morality. You have to have a moral center. There has to be some type of morality there. And this just goes against all good decency. You know, Planned Parenthood is disgusting. There are other options for young ladies who find themselves pregnant, whatever the situation or circumstance is. But even just the thought of coming out so blatantly and saying they need more abortions, that's disgusting. What is wrong with this woman? Is she possessed? You know, there's been a lot of talk of, you know, this demon stuff going on, demon possession and houses with weird evil spirits. Maybe she's got one tagging on to her. She looks like a nutbag. Oh well. Let's move on before I get real pissed here. This was a good one. Officials in Connecticut stunned by what could be a massive statewide act of civil disobedience by gun owners. On January 1st, 2014, tens of thousands of defiant gun owners seemingly made the choice not to register their semi-automatic rifles with the state of Connecticut as required by a hastily passed gun control law. By possessing unregistered so-called assault rifles, they all technically became guilty of committing Class D felonies overnight. You see, this is awesome. This is awesome. We all have a Second Amendment right to bear arms, to own a weapon that will protect us from the nutcases that, you know, are in our communities, as well as an out-of-control government. Okay? The reason why the Second Amendment exists is to protect us from tyranny. Just look at guys like Hitler. One of the first things they did was take away the guns from the people. It wasn't for their safety, to improve their communities, or to stop school shootings. It was so that they couldn't defend themselves when him and the Third Reich rolled through. So we have that right. And that right to protection was given to us not by the government. It's a natural law. We have that right. They cannot give us that right. They cannot take it away. It's part of natural law. Natural law is that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, meaning that by nature we are given the right to protect ourselves. And the government, no matter how many pieces of legislation they pass, have no right to take that away from us. So this is fantastic that these people are exercising their Second Amendment right regardless of the fact that the government is trying to take that right away from them. It's their right. They don't have to register these guns. Not like this. I mean, a semi-automatic rifle. I mean, these people still don't get it. Guns do not kill people. People kill people with guns. People kill people with knives. We can make a song out of this if you want. You know, it's people kill people with rocks. People kill people with hands. You know, that's the point here, man. Yeah, really. Police had received 47,916 applications for assault weapon certificates and 21,000 incomplete applications as of December 31st. At roughly 50,000 applications, officials estimate that as little as 15% of the covered semi-automatic rifles have actually been registered with the state. No one has anything close to definitive figures, but the most conservative estimates place the number of unregistered assault weapons well above 50,000 and perhaps as high as 350,000, the report states. Needless to say, officials and some lawmakers are stunned. I can't believe this. It stuns them that people want to exercise their Second Amendment right. That should tell you right there how out of touch with reality our politicians and lawmakers are. I mean, they took an oath. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution. And they seem surprised by the fact that people want to exercise their Second Amendment right to own a weapon. It baffles me how this is dumbfounding to them, how they're stunned that people would say, hey, enough's enough. No, we're not going to go with this Gestapo crap. We're going to keep our guns, and you can pry them from our cold, dead hands. That amazes them? It's their right. They're trying to take away their freedom. Man, these are the people who are in our government now must be stupid. Due to the new gun control bill passed in April, likely at least 20,000 individual people, possibly as many as 100,000, are now in direct violation of the law, and that now means they are guilty of a Class D felony. Mike Lawler, the state's top official in criminal justice, suggested maybe the firearms unit in Connecticut could send them a letter. However, he said an aggressive push to prosecute gun owners in the state is not going to happen at this point. No, it's not. You don't have any right to. You have no right whatsoever to prosecute these people for owning a firearm, which is their right guaranteed to them by the Constitution. The Constitution that is in place to prevent you, aka the government official, from stripping them of their right. The Constitution is not there to grant us our rights. It is a guaranteed protection from government so they don't steal our rights, which is exactly what the Connecticut government is trying to do. So the Constitution is working. It's just amazing me how stupid these people can be. Just when you think they can't get any dumber, you read stuff like that. So I applaud you, Connecticut gun owners. Don't give in. It is your right to own a firearm to protect your family from irresponsible, oppressive government and from the crazy nut people that walk around your neighborhoods who would threaten your safety. Keep up the good work. Eventually, they will have to cave. Okay, we had some interesting stuff going on with Ted Cruz. I like Ted Cruz. I obviously would like him to be a little more libertarian, but I think he's a good dude. He says, hell will freeze over before establishment GOP listens to the American people. Freaking men, brother. Let me tell you something. The little letter next to the politician's name, the R and the D, doesn't mean jack or squat. Okay? Republicans in this day and age, the GOP, might as well be the Democratic Party. They're one and the same. The GOP lost itself long ago. So, no longer is this about, we just need to get good Republican people in there. There isn't any. I mean, I don't even know that I trust Ted Cruz. It's hard to trust anybody with that R, The R and the D don't mean squat. We have to look at a person's individual voting record and their principles that they claim to uphold. And we have to see, does their life match what they claim? That we have to start looking deeper, man. You can't just trust, I'm going to vote all Republican. You might be voting for the same kind of people. I mean, everybody was like, hey, let's vote for Mitt. Mitt might as well have been Obama. Granted, he would have still been better than Obama, but I mean, he had a lot of similar policies. So what would have been the big benefit? All right. Anyway, Senator Ted Cruz told conservative radio host Mark Levin on Thursday evening that establishment GOP politicians will never listen to the American people. If we wait on the entrenched politicians in Washington, hell will freeze over before that happens, Cruz answered when asked whether Republicans will ever listen. This is nothing new. The answers come from America, from millions of people standing up and holding elected officials accountable, which is something that is sorely lacking, I believe, in the country right now, is there's not enough people willing to hold our elected officials accountable and responsible for their actions. That doesn't just mean writing them a letter, although that's good. You should be involved. Write letters, write emails, make phone calls. But we also need to start primarying these suckers. Kind of like how my friend J.D. Winteregg from Troy, Ohio, is going after Boehner. He's primarying Boehner. And I believe he's a good candidate for doing that. But regardless of that, we need to start doing that more often to let them know, no, we are not going to let you get away with this stuff. We're not just going to elect you because you're the supposed lesser of two evils. No, we're going to start actually looking for candidates who reflect our value system, who truly understand what freedom and liberty mean and will stay on the course to correcting this country and not be corrupted by playing politics. Now, that kind of person is very hard to find. We need people who can not be corrupted by all the benefits and perks of being a politician. That's tough. Cruz, who coined the Twitter hashtag MakeDCListen during the government shutdown episode, has often returned to a theme of forcing Washington, D.C. insiders to listen to the public. He noted that in the prelude to the shutdown, many Republicans preferred to push for spending cuts with the debt ceiling as leverage. A few months ago, when we were trying to stop the disaster that is Obamacare, where a lot of Washington graybeards said, "We are going to fight on the debt ceiling, that's where the fight will be," Cruz said. "It's like they think the American people are a bunch of rubes. We don't remember what they say." Wednesday, Cruz forced a procedural roll call requiring a 60-vote majority on the clean debt ceiling bill. Despite Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's forceful urging, he allowed the legislation to go through with only a bare majority vote. Cruz said Republicans should have united against the cloture motion, preventing the debt ceiling from being raised. This debt ceiling does not need to be raised anymore, people. Look, raising the debt ceiling so you can borrow more money to pay your bills. I mean, again, I've said this the last episode, I'll say it again. You can't continue to borrow money to pay your bills. You can't continue to go in debt to pay your bills. That doesn't make sense. You could go to anybody on this planet, ask for sound financial advice on how to get out of credit card debt. The last thing they're going to tell you to do is go take out a bank loan. Or, better yet, go spend more money on your credit card. Get some new credit cards. Pay off the old ones. They're not going to tell you to rack up more debt. They're going to say, okay, we need to sit down, take a look at your budget, see where you need to make some cuts, stop spending this kind of money, and then you can start applying that money that you're saving toward paying off your debt. I mean, our debt is astronomical in this country, and what that means is, me and you, we're not going to have to deal with it, but our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, we're saddling them with this huge responsibility of paying this debt, and it's horrible. We shouldn't do that. It's immoral. Stop raising the debt ceiling. Cut spending. My goodness, this is common sense. You do not have to have a degree in advanced economics to figure out how to fix this problem. And what's really disappointing, too, on this is that Republicans didn't even fight for anything. Like, they just gave in. And Boehner being one of them. My representative. The Speaker of the House. The one who holds the power of the purse. He didn't do jack or squat to stop Obamacare. And he had the power. He didn't do jack or squat to fight for, this. He hasn't done anything. And there's a million John Boehners out there. There's tons of John Boehners all in both houses. This stuff needs to just stop. We can fix this, but we got to get these people out of here. They think they're untouchable. They think because they have the multi-million-dollar war chest for campaigning that no one can challenge them and win. We got to start challenging them at every corner, at every turn, till we eventually start replacing them, and then they realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm not invincible. I'm replaceable. These people have forgotten that. And that's partially why this country is in such a mess. Here's an interesting story. A poll, I don't know if this poll was conducted by Breitbart or not, but it says 64% say Obamacare would have never passed had the truth been known. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if the government would have, if the House and Senate would have not passed the bill if they knew what was in it. But the point is, they didn't even read the bill to know what was in it. They just passed it. And look at all of the dumb junk that's in it. I talked Wednesday about the tax on the gym memberships. That's crazy. You're gonna tax people for getting healthy? The whole point of getting healthy is so that you stay well and don't have to use the health insurance. But you're gonna try to tax them to get more money anyway. That's ridiculous. It's like every week there's a new portion of this bill that comes out that we're like, holy crap, that is bad. That is bad. It just never stops. So I don't know. I don't know if it would have passed or not had everyone known this. Maybe if it would have been known from the beginning, we could have put a whole heck of a lot more pressure on them to stop and not approve of this. But whether they would have listened or not, who knows? Because a lot of people did put pressure on them. But I think they would have had a lot more pressure even from people on the left had they known all the junk that was going to come along with this. This is just absolutely a disaster. It was a Fox News poll. A Fox News poll finds that 64% of Americans say Obamacare would have never passed if citizens knew back in 2009 what they know now about the law. Well, we tried to tell all you people that this was going to be bad. I mean, it's not like you didn't know. We tried to tell you it was all coming, but, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're crazy. You're just a right-wing nut. Regrets. I bet you've had a few. Not listening to me should be one of them. Anyway, the somber sentiment garnered majorities from Republicans, 74%, Independents, 68%, and Democrats, 54%, who say the unpopular health care program would not have passed. Only 9% of Americans believe their family is better off under Obamacare. I want to know where this 9% is at. And I want to know how exactly are they better off. I don't know. That can't be accurate. These people got to be they must not understand what's going on. There's just no way. I don't think that this is beneficial for anyone. Wow. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny how everyone called conservatives and libertarians crazy for Obamacare, saying none of that stuff's going to happen. You're just a crazy nut right-wing person. Oh, you should be in jail. You're just a terrorist and all this other crazy crap. And now they're all like, oh, well, look at that. Holy, you were right. Yeah, exactly, we were right. I mean, come on. All you have to do is look at this guy's track record and you kind of figure out where, this thing was coming from. You knew the outcome was coming. Well, it's too late now. All we can do is try to fight against it as hard as we can and hopefully at some point repeal the sucker and get rid of it. Alright, guys. That's the last news story I got. Hope you all enjoyed part 2 of episode 2, and I will be back on Monday. I've decided to do the podcast 3 times a week because I love it so much. And that's about all I got, folks. So I will see you all on Monday. Have an outstanding weekend. And fellas, don't forget, it's Valentine's Day. So go out and get those flowers. Get some reservations and get going, man. Don't be that dude who forgets, yo. All right, guys. Have a good one.